bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll break down the latest victories of the San Miguel Beermen and Barangay Ginebra in the PBA Commissioner's Cup semis.
We'll also talk about the Campeón del Mundo, the champions of the FIFA 2022 World Cup, the Argentina national team. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. San Miguel Beermen stay alive in the semifinals of the PBA Commissioner's Cup as they hold off the Bay Area Dragons, while Barangay Ginebra gets a 2-1 lead in their series against Magnolia. To help us break down the matchups in the semifinals, we have with us basketball analyst Charles Chu. Charles, how are you doing first and foremost? There's so much to talk about you here. We're going to talk about the PBA first, but I just want to know, how are you doing?
I thought we were going to talk about the World Cup. You don't want me to analyze the game? No, I'm doing okay. That's life. We move on and we live another day.
All right, so on that note, let's move on to the PBA here. Let's start off first with Bay Area against San Miguel. So Coach Lea had an interesting quote at the end of that game, saying that their win last time around, the way that they won it, proves that Bay Area are beatable. You take a look at the tools that San Miguel have, and the fact that they're trying to rekindle the old Miracle flame. Do you feel that that is a bit realistic here, considering how strong Bay Area are?
I thought it was the quote that he said na ang dami kong naririnig.
Ayun din, oh!
Kala ko yung quote yun. No, but realistically, I actually thought they were a good match. Look, San Miguel should have won game number 1. I mean, they kind of choked or threw that game away. So I do think Bay Area is beatable. Obviously, it was a big game. I thought they did a great job last night against, or yesterday against Bay Area. They defended them, they kept them off transition, slowed down the game a bit, played some good half-court defense. They rebounded well and they shared the ball, and I think those were really the keys. So yeah, I mean, they show that they can compete. Their lineup's really deep, man. I mean, San Miguel's, I think, is always a favorite every conference. So no, I think it's still possible.
Right. You mentioned, Coach Charles, na yung Bay Area is beatable, right? What's one thing that you think San Miguel can zone in on na parang medyo weakness itong Bay Area? Because we know they're a complete team. Malakas itong Bay Area Dragons. But what's one thing na nakita mo na in Game 3, pwedeng i-take advantage ng San Miguel moving forward?
Well, obviously, Bay Area has been the best offensive team by far in the league. They're just great in transition. They kind of flow. So if you can get them to play half-court, kind of like what San Miguel did, just get back on defense, then it slows them down a bit. Obviously, their game is really predicated on their imports, which they're great imports, whether it's Nicholson or Powell. And Nicholson has been great this series. But their guards, I feel the depth isn't as deep as San Miguel's guards. I mean, San Miguel has some great guards, Romeo, all these guys, Lassiter, CJ Perez, so they're deep there. So, I still think that's one advantage that they have.
With guys like Ju Song Wei stepping up here, giving problems to guys like Junmar Fajardo, a lot of focus has also been put on the guards of the San Miguel Beermen. We were talking a bit about some of the key players of the Beermen in particular. Of course, Junmar will be Junmar. Junmar has to be Junmar Fajardo. But then when you look at Terrence Romeo and Simon Enciso, guys who can get you buckets. Defensively, though, a bit of an issue because they're so small compared to the Bay Area Dragons. Just how important is their role in particular, the perimeter players?
Well, I thought Terrence Romeo was great in game number 1. He went off to a really good start. That's why San Miguel took control of the game. Yesterday, he also played well. Game number 2, he was okay. And yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously, they can't guard him, but also he has challenges defensively, but he tries. And Enciso, on the other hand, I think is a better defender. I mean, he knows his role. He's really good at pressuring when he wants to. I mean, I know we went up against them in a series just last conference, so it was tough. But Enciso hit a big shot, right? I mean, he hit basically what turned out to be the game winner. And he's a solid player. So it's very important that their guards hit their shots because, as you said, Junmar's a given. He's been the most consistent player in this series. I think Scott also has to play better. He finally had a good game in game number 3 on both ends of the floor because the first 2 games he was being outplayed by Nicholson. So the supporting cast of Junmar really has to step up.
Right. So lipat tayo ngayon sa kabilang series naman ng Ginebra Magnolia. Coach Charles, you would know this, having experienced this just yesterday, and also, I guess, another Game 3 happening today in the UAAP. How hard is it, or how crucial is it to get a Game 3 in a tough Manila Clasico series, such as Ginebra versus Magnolia?
No, it's really tough. You see how both games 1 and 2 ended. I mean, down the wire. I mean, lucky breaks. I wouldn't say lucky breaks, but close calls.
Yeah. Right place, right time.
Yeah, right place, right time. I mean, those happen, right?
Yeah.
I think those 2 teams are evenly matched. But that advantage psychologically is just so important. Now you play with so much you put so much pressure on the other team to kind of overcome and win game number 4. Statistically speaking, I mean, like what is it, 70% or somewhere there, where of teams winning game 3 end up to win the series. So yeah, it is very important.
And of course, Paul Lee was not there for Game 3. He did play for technically maybe around 2 minutes or maybe a bit lower than that. But then Paul Lee out due to illness, negative for COVID for all of those asking. When you take a look at what Paul Lee, or rather the absence of Paul Lee for this team, is that a death knell already for the Magnolia Hotshots? Or do you feel that even without Paul Lee, there should be parts there that could see off Barangay Ginebra?
I think they should be able to compete even without
Yeah.
Paulie. Obviously, he's a big piece. He's their go-to guy. He's their superstar, their clutch player. He hit the game winner in game number 2, and they're missing his outside presence really. But look, he still have Mark Baroca. He still have Gio Halalan. I think one of the biggest differences in that game was L.A. Tenorio outplayed Mark Baroca at 20
Yeah.
points, and Baroca really struggled. And those guys are a tough matchup for LA, you'd think. But I just think Ginebra's in a good place right now. They're a solid team. But more than Paulie, the one guy that I expect more from Magnolia would be their import, Nick Rakocevic.
Rakocevic.
Yeah, I think he's being outplayed by Justin Brownlee. Let's face it. Game 1, he got himself ejected. Game number 2, he played well. They won. Game number 3, not good enough numbers versus the numbers of Brownlee. And that's always been my concern. Magnolia was so good in the regular season, but
Yeah.
I always worried come playoff time when there's a young player who, the PBA guys, they're going to try to get in your head. They're going to
Yeah.
play you physical. So that maturity is so important, and the lack of experience. He's so energetic, almost like a Calvin plus like 7-8 inches. I don't know, but Justin Brownlee's been a different beast right now in the playoffs, and that's why they're up.
Right, you mentioned it, Coach Charles. Now, speaking of imports, Justin Brownlee has been with Ginebra for many years, and in his stint with Ginebra, naka 5,000 points na siya, the 5th import in the PBA to do so. So can you expound more on how he has been for Ginebra this series, or the entire playoffs actually?
Maybe the entire career. He's just
Yeah.
been consistent, man. He's that one guy when you're defending him, you're like, man, every shot he takes, you think it's going to go in. I mean, that's just how good he is. And what I love about Justin Brown, because I've had a chance to work with him before, the privilege, he's just so nice. Doesn't complain. He'll do what you ask him to do, works so hard. He's just a nice and fun guy on and off the court. And that's why he keeps coming back.
Yeah.
You don't give your coach attitude. You keep winning. You keep getting buckets. You always deliver in the clutch. And that's a recipe for success, and he's so vital for Ginebra, and he's why they always have a chance to win a championship every conference he's in.
Yeah, it's funny because you worked with him, and I remember he is a future Gilas Pilipinas member, Justin Brownlee, and again he's a giggler. He doesn't laugh. That's how he laughs. I'm sorry, Justin, if you're watching. But Charles, you take a look at his legacy right now. His first 5,000 points made 5th import in PBA to do it. But then even though scoring-wise, not really quite there, where do you rank him all-time in terms of PBA imports?
Ooh, he's right there at the top. My PBA history isn't that great, right? Obviously, my coach right now, Coach Norman Black's got to be number 1, right? But I'd say he's right there, top 5, maybe top 10 imports. It's tough for me because I never saw the great ones play back in the day, and they were really good, by the way.
They were.
But I think the longevity of Justin Brownlee, to be able to come back year in, year out, I mean, that's a testament to him. It's not easy because there are a lot of talented imports coming in the PBA, but for some reason, they don't put it together, they don't adjust to the game. And let's not forget, in the States, Justin Brownlee was just average as a D-League player. Not back then, the D-League. And his numbers weren't great, but here he's just a perfect fit.
Yeah. The fit matters too. So we have a bit more time here. You take a look at the Bay Area and San Miguel matchup again. We'll go back to that because Meralco, the team you're part of, actually beat the Bay Area Dragons. Just how difficult it is. You talked about slowing down the pace against the Bay Area, preventing them to run. Is that replicable? We saw that in Game 3. If they do that, how about San Miguel? Do they take the next game?
I still think they will. Coach Brian's a good friend. I'm sorry. I hope you're not watching this, Coach. We talk a lot, but I do think San Miguel will find a way. I think they have enough experience to pull off I guess right now it's an upset. It's just that the other guys have to step up. Junmar and CJ, to me, are given every game. Marshall's been up and down. We know how important he is to their success. Jericho Cruz up and down. Scott has to play great, and they have to find a way to stop Nicholson. He scores 30-plus again, and it's going to be tough to beat Bay Area.
We will send Coach Brian Gorgian a copy of this interview, just your quotes and without our faces on it.
Right, and we will find out if they can carry the momentum heading into the next games. Thank you so much, Coach Charles, for joining us, and tune in to the 2022 PBA Commissioner's Cup semifinals live on One Sports, TV5, PBA Rush, Signal TV Channel 260 HD, Channel 90 HD, and free on Signal Play. And after the break, We'll talk about the new World Cup champions, Argentina. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to The Game. It was a huge day for Messi fans everywhere as Argentina bagged the gold in the 2022 FIFA World Cup. With us to talk about that unbelievable championship match is football analyst and former national team player James Young Husband. James, I wanted to ask you first, did you get any sleep after that intense match last night?
Just the right amount. It was when I woke up, it felt like I played the game. It was that emotionally draining.
Yeah, it was, James. And of course, I just want to let everyone know that James is right now at the venue where he actually watched it. So I believe he's lying. He did not go home. But James, you take a look at what has been done here, especially for Messi. Before talking about the game, I want to talk about his legacy here because there was a very long ongoing debate. Ronaldo versus Messi. Ronaldo versus Messi. Maybe a couple of years ago, Ronaldo was the one on top. But then after this, where are you on that debate?
Mbappe now.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm joking. Nah, Messi, he's out of this world. He's from another planet, and you know what? I said before, I lean more towards Ronaldo, but after the game, looking at all the pictures and emotions and videos, I'm so happy for Messi that what he's accomplished. I'll probably give it to him. He is the great, and. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Ronaldo comes up with next. And it was such a great storyline. And he nearly got the winner.
Nearly did.
Nearly did, but then it got more dramatic with the equaliser from the penalty from Mbappe, and then it went to penalties. So it was ups and downs and emotional, and it was a fantastic game to watch.
Well, let's put this into context, James. So last week, you were on the show as well, right, Pawaz?
Yes, he was.
And you hesitatingly said that France would win. And right now, after 36 years, well, Argentina won it. Your thoughts on that one? Do you gladly take your words back after this win of Argentina?
I do. I could come up with excuses, but I think Argentina, they started off the better team, and France, they started off poorly, but like Argentina were the stronger team in the first half, and then second half, France made changes, and they were the stronger team, and it was just a game of two halves and then extra time and penalties. The game nearly had it all, and it was just everyone's going to look at me and go, "Oh, your prediction was wrong." I went, "I know, but no one's ever right," and that's what's the great thing with football. Games like this, they're so unpredictable.
Well, no one's ever right, except for me, because I predicted that Mbappe will be the top goal scorer this year, and he was.
You're good,
but
man.
then, all joking aside, James, let's talk a bit about Mbappe, because a hat trick in a World Cup final, that is otherworldly. A lot of people have criticized him for not leaving PSG in the past, but then I think this World Cup has shown everyone where he actually stands in the world stage.
Yeah, I actually saw today. I didn't realise last night because of all the emotions that the last person to score a hat trick in the finals was English player Jeff Hurst in 1966, and Mbappe now broke his record. So he broke a record of scoring the most goals in a final of the World Cup. So, and he's only 23 years old, and I think it's what's exciting is to see what he can do next and see where his future will be, and it's exciting to see if he'll get his revenge.
Right. We're talking about the goal scorers here for both teams. What about that last save before the end of the extra time for Emiliano Martinez? Can you talk about that, James, and how big that save was for Argentina?
Massive. It's I actually thought it was a certain goal. It was like most people here in the bar were up on their feet already, and like some Argentinian fans were a bit like, "Oh no!" But it was in the third minute of added on time of extra time, and that was the last chance of the game. It could have won France the game 4-3, but it just shows you you never know what's going to happen. And Martinez, fantastic goalkeeper of the tournament, and even he's had his ups and downs, and it's amazing to see their stories. These World Cup heroes.
Yeah, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it again, because that was an incredible showing there by the goalkeepers. Actually, take a look at both sides of the pitch here, and there were so many heroes there. But focusing on Messi once again, he did say that he will not retire. He will not retire from national team duty, and that if ever, let's see how far he can go with his Argentina career. But then, if this was the last time you saw Lionel Messi wear an Argentina shirt, where do you think he figures in terms of Argentina lore, especially with a guy like Diego Maradona still being mentioned as almost a religious figure in Argentina?
Well, I think you have to put them in the. I think you put them in the same bracket, Paolo. I'm sure when they go back to Argentina, I'm sure they're literally gods and lords. It's amazing. Even here at the sports bar, like Messi chants and everything. I think it makes it so special because us football fans, we've followed his career since he first made his debut for Barcelona. Many more, some before that. Even my brother, he had his confirmation name Leo after Lionel Messi. So it's just amazing this impact this guy has made on football, and it's a real great thing that's happened for football and Messi.
And here I thought your brother was a Ronaldo fan too, but
well, we're sort of like, they're both great.
yeah, they're both great. And with that, of course, you have Mbappe, as you mentioned, 23 years old here. And normally, strikers do start hitting their stride around 25, 26, 27. Just how excited should fans be in general to just follow the career of Kylian Mbappe, and as he tries to make that stride into greatness as well?
Yeah, I said it to you guys last week. I see him as the LeBron James of football, and just he didn't really have a good first half yesterday. But I think once they changed a few things, I think once Argentina couldn't keep up their game plan compared to the first half, there was a bit more space for him to do what he does best, and that's run at players, take players on, and he's just exciting to watch. His speed, his power. You can see by the size of his quads. When he's getting a massage between breaks. Yeah, you got to look after those legs, and it'll be exciting to see if he'll remain at PSG or if he'll move on to another club and look to do different things in his career. But what a talent, and how exciting it is for football fans.
Manchester United, please. All right.
For the record, James, Anything left to prove for I mean, I'm gonna call himself the GOAT already, but anything left to prove for Lionel Messi?
I think maybe an MLS title. We'll see with that one. I think he'll be like, yeah, let's go to America. Let's go. That's always let's conquer America. So I think he can sort of sit back and put his feet up and have a cigar of what he's conquered around. But maybe America's the next one. I always say America's the one to conquer.
America's left, so let's see if he can bring America into as a football nation like David Beckham did way back when. And you never know, because 2026, the next World Cup in America.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, James. Really appreciate you. Please do go home.
I will. I'll try.
All right, thank you very much. So after the break, we'll hear some exciting badminton news for 2023. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to The Game. After 3 years, the Philippine Badminton Open is back. The Philippine Badminton Association will hold the tournament from February 20 to 26, 2023 at the Dragon Smash Badminton Center in Chino Roces Avenue, Makati City. The 2019 edition of the tournament, previously held at the Muntinlupa Sports Complex, served as a test event for the 30th Southeast Asian Games. This time, it will be part of the Philippine national team's build-up to the 32nd SEA Games in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. 5 events will be played in the Super 500 tournament: men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles. And thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dip Yanko.
And I'm Paulo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.